Hello everyone, welcome to week 5 of the VGC Casters Cup. I am Jake, the captain of the 5-move Volcaronas, and this week we are facing off against Shmon, a European VG caster, and his team, the Iron Hantwerp, which I think I said this last year when I played him. Probably the best name in the league. Hilarious. Antwerp is a city in Belgium where Shmon is from, and Iron Hantwerp with the waffles. Just so good. So good. I did get to play Shmon last season. I think it was in the quarterfinals in the playoffs. And I was able to beat him, so he's going to be looking for some revenge. Hopefully we can stop that. Full disclosure, I did actually already play this battle. I went to go edit the video together and realized I never recorded the team rundown. So I'm going to do my best to explain my choices for the Pokemon and the attacks and the abilities and items and whatnot without spoiling anything that happens during the game. So, if you notice my background a little bit more bare, I have just started the process of moving, so what you see behind me might vary in the next few weeks or so, but bear with me as I still bring you the great action from this tournament. So you can see Shmon's team over there on the right side. The main hitters right away, I think obviously their Ursaluna Porygon 2 is very, very threatening. It's a very good combination of Pokemon in any metagame, much less a draft league like this where your resources to combat it are a little bit thinner. Pairs pretty well with something like Chandelure as well, secondary Trick Room setter. And then Hydreigon is great with them as well. Ursaluna has an Earthquake partner. Hydreigon can set up Tailwind if you want to go a little bit faster. Just provides some pretty good coverage alongside that Ursaluna. Scrafty could be a little bit annoying as well. I do have a team that is pretty heavily comprised of physical attackers. So, I mean, right away you see on the screen it's Clear Amulet Chien-Pao. I really wanted to make sure I'm getting the most out of this Chien-Pao because it is, I think, very strong in Shmon's team and has really good coverage, which is kind of its standard Ice Spinner, Sucker Punch, Sacred Sword set. What this allows me to do is, have this Chien-Pao out against the Scrafty, especially if I have the Farigiraf there as well, prevent the fake outs, and then hopefully get some big damage off, potentially try and stop a Trick Room setup. But mainly Chien-Pao is here for the Sword of Ruin to help the Hariyama and the Dragonite, and of course to put out some really good damage on its own. Down to Gengar. I am Sash Gengar this time around. I did stick with the Terra Fairy. There is 2 Pokemon on Shmon's team that are double weak to Fairy types, but they are bulky enough that sometimes you need a little bit more damage than just a raw Dazzling Gleam to KO them. So I did stick with the Terra Fairy. Also very good defensively. Of course, Dark typing is one of the worst things you can hit, or one of the worst things you can face if you're a Gengar. Shmon does have those 2 Dark types, and so Fairy combats that pretty well. I wanted Taunt as a way to possibly prevent something like Trick Room or Tailwind coming out from the Porygon, Chandelure, Hydreigon. I think Vesindipity gets Tailwind. Rabombi is unfortunately faster than Gengar, so I can't taunt that, but I do have Sludge Bomb to threaten it. Rabombi has a hard time against Gengar in general, so I think it's a pretty good call here. And of course, Shadow Ball, I considered dropping for some other coverage or even Protect, but the Chandelure and Iron Leaves, I guess Iron Leaves is weak to grass. It's weak to poison, rather. It's really for the Chandelure. I wanted Gengar to at least threaten the Chandelure, and if I'm just running Poison Fairy moves, that simply won't happen. So I did stick with Shadow Ball. Decent neutral coverage as well, in case Shmon terastallizes something like the Scrafty or Hydreigon too. Down to the Farigiraf. This time around, I went with Berry. So if you're not familiar, Berry is very similar to all the type resist berries, something like a Yachi Berry for ice moves, a Shuka Berry for ground moves. In this case, Berry is for normal type moves. Of course, all those other berries activate when something is super effective. Normal can never be super effective against anything. So it's just the first time it's hit with a normal type move, the power of that move will be weakened. I wanted this specifically for Ursaluna. If Trick Room does go up, I can bring in Farigiraf, tank a Facade with the Berry, and then hopefully reverse it. Even like Porygon 2 can be helpful against something like a Terra Blast or Tri-Attack. You can remove some of the damage from those attacks the first time around. I am Terra Fairy. Again, it's purely defensive here because Shmon does have those 2 Dark types that threaten Farigiraf pretty heavily. It does allow me to get some extra damage on Dazzling Gleam as well, which I opted for as a coverage move. Psychic is also really strong. Fungus is weak to it, and that might sound silly to say, but I honestly think Fungus is kind of a genius pick in a format like this. If you get Trick Room up, Fungus can just start putting stuff to sleep. It's even slower than Azumarill. Sorry, not Azumarill, Amoonguss. When I say Azumarill, it's even slower than Amoonguss, so you have a better chance of putting things to sleep inside a Trick Room. Fungus tempted me to bring Trapinch. I really considered it for this game. Trapinch is one of the few things that can actually underspeed Fungus, so if Trick Room goes up, I can have Trapinch to attack before Fungus. But I was thinking about it, and I can attack before Fungus and do what exactly? Nothing. There's not much Trapinch can be doing in general, much less attacking before it gets put to sleep and has like one more turn it needs to waste while it's asleep. So I opted not to bring the Trapinch, as you see. But Psychic to have something to hit Fungus, and Pheasantipity and Toxtricity as well for super effective damage felt great. I did opt for Imprison. Again, I think one of my game plans can be to hope that Trick Room does not go up, and the Taunt on Gengar and the Imprison on Farigiraf are two good ways to do that. Taunt is a little bit more shaky because it can be blocked by Mental Herb. I think Porygon 2 will never have a Mental Herb because it really needs that Eviolite. But Chandelure could be holding a Mental Herb, so Farigiraf is a really good way to combat that with the Imprison. I did stick with Armortail this time around, no Sap Sipper shenanigans, because I really wanted a way to stop Scrafty's Fake Out. So we went with Armortail. Hariyama. This was a big swing. This was a very big swing. The Terra Grass is purely defensive. It's for Dugtrio. It's for Ursaluna. It's ground type attacks. It's also to block spores from the fungus. And you see the item there is an Iron Ball. So I did go with Iron Ball on Hariyama. It will guarantee that Hariyama underspeeds Ursaluna in Trick Room. They normally speed tie each other, so if I did go like Brave 0 speed IVs on Hariyama, there's still a chance it is outsped by the Ursaluna once Trick Room is up. So if Trick Room does go up, if I'm not able to stop it with something like the Taunt or the Imprison, I've got my Iron Ball Hariyama. It will be very slow and able to get some good damage out. Fighting coverage is very strong against Shmon's team. Ursaluna, Porygon, Scrafty, Hydreigon, all very good Pokemon, all weak to fighting. So Hariyama was kind of a no-brainer bring here. Heavy Slam is great for the Ribombee and the Pheasantipity, two things that resist the fighting type attacks. And I went with Fling. Fling is mostly to hit the Chandelure, but also Ursaluna often goes Terra Ghost. So if I have the Hariyama in against the Ursaluna, and I can try and bait something like the Terra Ghost coming from Ursaluna, I can then use my Fling to throw the Iron Ball. Iron Ball is one of the most powerful items you can use with Fling. The base power of Fling is based on the item that you're holding. I don't know if Iron Ball is the highest, but it's up there. I think it's 120 base power. The downside is you only use it once, and then you lose the Iron Ball. So I have to be very careful about when I opt to use Fling. But the option is there. I think this is a really cool kind of tech idea. I went with Thick Fat for the ability. Nothing on this Hariyama is boosted by Sheer Force. And then there's not really anything. I guess the Chandelure can use Will-O-Wisp. But that's kind of it in terms of status that can be inflicted on Hariyama. But then Thick Fat can resist a fire move from Chandelure and Ice Beam from Porygon. It was just kind of the ability that had the most potential use on this matchup. Down to Dragonites. Terra Steel Dragonite looked really strong here. The Dragon Flying typing is great, but then the Steel is a really good defensive coverage against all of Shmon's team. Specifically, something like the Hydreigon has a hard time hitting Steel types sometimes. Porygon can have a hard time hitting Steel types sometimes. Ribombee, especially in Pheasantipity, it turns Dragonite from weak to Fairy into a Pokemon that kind of just hard beats the two Fairy types on Shmon's team. So the Steel felt pretty natural here. Loaded Dice is because I am running Scale Shot again, and I'm running Iron Head, both for the coverage into the Fairies and for the boosted damage from the Terastallization. And I'm with Dragon Dance again. I think if Trick Room does not go up, this Dragon Dance Dragonite could be really good. If I get a speed boost, I'll be faster than everything on Shmon's team and able to hit it for big damage with either the Scale Shot or the Iron Head. I did opt for Inner Focus this time, again because the Scrafty is there. It'll block the Intimidate and also block the Fake Out. I considered Multiscale because there's a lot of things that could threaten big damage into Dragonite, but with Multiscale active, I'd have a way to, tank one attack if I need to. But I thought the Inner Focus was more important, specifically for blocking Intimidates from Scrafty. If I get a Dragon Dance up, I really need to keep that attack boost to make the best use of it. And so I went with the Inner Focus. Finally, down to Dragonite. This is a much more defensive Dragonite. I'm Terra Grass. Again, just a defensive option there. Pretty good kind of resistance to Grass type moves from Iron Leaves, electric moves from Toxtricity, the ground type attacks again from the Ursaluna. I think having something that resists Earthquake is really nice because it kind of disincentivizes Shmon from going for spread damage and taking a lot of knockouts all at once. I am Citrus Berry just to have a little bit more bulk, and it is kind of just a purely defensive set here. So I got Fake Out to give myself a little bit more time. I've got Helping Hand to boost the damage of all my partners. I think everything except Frigoraph on this team is very, very powerful, so Helping Hand is a great way to kind of give myself an extra boost in power there. Muddy Water just for some water coverage, maybe go for some accuracy drops if I need to, but mainly just to get some damage out from the Dragonite. And then Flip Turn felt like a cool move here because it gives me a way to kind of pivot out. If Trick Room goes up, Blastoise can probably tank one attack and then Flip Turn out to give something a safer swap. On the other hand, I can like Fake Out and then Flip Turn out to give Dragonite some more support. I can, for example, Flip Turn into the Hariyama to get another Fake Out going. So just gives me a little bit more utility there. Of course, Torrent, because there's no rain in this battle. So that's my team against Shmon. The 5-move Volcaronas are currently 3-1. We are hoping to get a 4-1. I think 4 wins will guarantee playoffs. Again, there are only 6 matches around in the regular season this time. So 4 wins should be a lock. I would love to get that secured before my last battle. But let's jump in, see if we can beat Shmon again. Alright, battle time. Very curious to see what Shmon has cooked up. I think his draft is really cool in that it's very scary both with and without Trick Room modes. I kind of prepped more for Trick Room, but I don't think it's too bad if he doesn't bring that mode. I think the Dragonite, especially if he's using the faster Pokemon, could be really good, but we will see. Just waiting for us to be all situated. And we'll send each other our Terra types and jump into the battle. Let's see. What do I want to see and what do I not want to see? I would be okay with like the Porygon or Saluna mode. Yeah, there it is. There's no Rabombi. I like that a lot. I think that's really good for me. The Rabombi is like the one thing I really didn't want to see, but I'm quite happy with this so far. So he's got the Porygon, Chandelure, Scrafty, Ursaluna, Iron Leaves, and Hydreigon. Let's see what his Terras are. Porygon is Steel, Chandelure is Steel, Scrafty's Fairy, Ursaluna's Ghost, Iron Leaves is Fairy, Hydreigon's Steel. That's makes a lot of sense. 2 Terra Fairies, pretty happy with that. The Dragonite could be really, really good if I manage to not let Trick Room go up. Let's see. Ursaluna being Ghost is great. That means I can use the Fling into it if he does have that in Trick Room. And I get Hariyama in. I'm trying to decide what I think my best route here is. Chandelure's Steel. I almost think I want to not go straight for the Trick Room mode, or the anti-Trick Room mode rather. I'm going to Dragonite Gengar and then have Hariyama Frigoraph in the back. I think this is a pretty solid combo. Because, oh yeah, no Rabombi means Gengar is going to be faster than all of his Pokemon too. So yeah, I like this a lot. This gives me a way to threaten pretty much everything. If he doesn't lead a Trick Room setter, then I can go for a Dragon Dance and probably be in a pretty good spot. We'll just have to find out. So not only does he lead a Trick Room setter, he leads both of them. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. Boost download. I didn't catch what the boost was. Attack. Cool. In this case, I could taunt one of them, but I think I would just be playing a guessing game. What I think I want to do instead is get a little bit of damage onto Porygon. Give me at least a way to threaten... No, I'm just going to try and go for like a double into Chandelure here, actually. This feels like the best way to make sure something happens. Shadow Ball comes first, so there's no Choice Scarfs, thankfully. It is Focus Sash, makes sense. I figured there would probably be one of those somewhere, whether it's on Chandelure or something like, I don't know, Iron Leaves or Bombi or Doug Trio. Chandelure goes down, so that's nice. I'm able to connect the Scale Shot. This is probably a Trick Room. If it's not, then great. I would be able to taunt next turn. I would actually kind of prefer it to be a Trick Room, though. Oh, no, it's just Ice Beam. Okay. Okay. Not great, actually. I think I bring in Farigiraf now, and I can imprison. It depends on what Shmon brings in here. I don't know what that is. It's crafty. Oh, sure. Sure. Okay. Huh. I could like double Gleam just to make sure I KO Scrafty. I could Imprison to guarantee a Trick Room, but I kind of want Trick Room to go up, honestly. If he does Terra this... Oh, here's what I'll do. I'll Dazzling Gleam and Sludge Bomb the Scrafty. It covers the Terra there. Okay, it doesn't Terastallize. That's fine. Hopefully this picks it up. Oh. That's not great. That's not great. Just barely misses it. It is Citrus Berry. Good to know. It's been knocked up in the Farigiraf. There goes my Chilin Berry. Which is crazy. He does find out that's the attack. I guess that's not horrible. Oh, that's kind of horrible. Him finding out that I am Chilin Berry isn't the worst. It does kind of inform what he can do with Ursaluna later on in the game, but that is a little bit unfortunate. I think my best bet is still just going for damage and not attacks. I am revealing Dazzling Gleam here, which isn't amazing, but I really wanted to set up Trick Room so I can come in with my Ursaluna, or my Hariyama rather. Oh, I thought, that's great. Okay, Freeze doesn't really matter in the end. Didn't prevent me from attacking at all. Do get the special defense drop, that could be big, and Trick Room does go up. So we're gonna get the chance to go with Hariyama here. This could be big. Yeah, Ursaluna, of course. I am just gonna double into the Porygon. If he wants to KO both of my Pokemon, he'll have to use Earthquake, and if he does that, oh. Oh, Rock Slide. Alright. And I disable it. That's funny. Just get the recover off. So if I don't flinch with Gengar, I can probably... Well, I don't know about probably. The special defense drop from that first Psychic might be a difference maker here. No, I don't think this KOs. Probably not. Oh, it does. Oh, with the crit, too. Wow. I am getting quite lucky here. I certainly can't deny that. It is confirmed to be Flame Orb Guts. Makes a lot of sense. I am going to swap into Hariyama here. I think. The scary thing is he hasn't Terastallized yet. Yeah, I'm gonna swap and then let Gengar go down. This is tough. I need to get this turn right, because if he like facades the Hariyama or something, I'm just dead. Because then I can come back in with Farigiraf. I'll have Fake Out Pressure. I can kind of force him to protect, and then maybe even. No, 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 no! Don't do that. Ah, shoot. Okay, well, that's not good. How much Trick Room is left? I think if this is the last turn, I might be okay. If I can dodge a Rock Slide again. No, it's not. Yeah, I think this is unfortunately probably over. Just gonna keep going for these attacks. I really needed Hariyama to not do that. I mean, what would the safer play have been? Just to attack twice again. I was scared. So, like, if he goes for Rock Slide in that turn, it KOs both my Pokemon. And then I think I just lose. So, I think I had to bank on Rock Slide coming out again. And then Hariyama being able to switch in on that very well, obviously. If I had Protect on Gengar, I could maybe try to steal this. Unfortunately, I do not. And so we're going to end this game with neither of us Terastallizing, funny enough. It is Headlong Rush, so no Earthquake. That's good to know. He's got the Rock Slide instead. I guess he doesn't have a great Earthquake partner. He brought Hydreigon, but no other immunities. Alright. Okay. This is certainly recoverable. Same rules, of course. I think if I was a little bit more careful with that Dragonite, it could have been a big deal. So I think that's what I'm going to try and do this time around. We did see Tri-Attack Ice Beam recover Trick Room from Porygon, so it really can't touch the Steel Dragonite, which is great. Let's see. This Porygon was, what, Fairy, right? No, Porygon was Steel, okay. Good to know. Maybe I'll do this. I go like Fergraph, Dragonite. I can go straight for Imprison, and then just go Fast Mode for the rest of the game. I kind of like that. Because then if it's something like the Porygon lead again, I can like Dragon Dance and Imprison. And then I'll have some pretty threatening attacks to fire off. Iron Leaf's Porygon. Okay. Oh, this is like great for Steel Dragonite, actually. Booster Energy. So it's going to be Speed. That's fine. Don't mind that at all. I guess Dragonite, it does learn Sacred Sword, so I have to be a little bit careful. But because he did go straight for like this Booster Speed, I think it's probably safe to assume he's not Trick Rooming this turn. So I can go for like... I can go for Steel and Dragon Dance. And then I am a little bit scared of Sacred Sword, unfortunately. I don't know the... Oh, yeah, okay. I steal Dragon Dance, and I bring in Chien Pao, and I can threaten Sucker Punch, although it is Fairy Iron Leaves. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes. Steel's a great defensive Terastallization here. I do think it's quite possible he has the Sacred Sword, unfortunately, but not sure what I can do to stop that. I did, like, discount Iron Leaves. So it also gets close combat alongside the Sacred Sword. Surely he went for Ice Beam here. That's just a really smart play to cover both the Terra and non-Terra. Yeah. This one might be pretty tough. God, what do I even do now? I'm gonna bring Gengar back in. Obviously, I know he has the close combat now. What can I even do to stop that? Does he close combat the Chien Pao or like attack the Gengar? That's the main question. I think I'm gonna taunt the Porygon. He probably Terastallizes if he attacks with Iron Leaves, but I don't know what I can do to stop that. Maybe he wants to preserve it. Yeah, I'm just getting... Unless this is Porygon. Yeah. If I protected Chen Pao and Sludge Bomb like I wanted to, this could have been really good, but if he goes for Trick Room, then like that is rough anyway. Sucker Punch into the fairy. Yeah. I'm just getting demolished. This is real bad. Oh boy. Hopefully he at least tries to Trick Room instead of going for an attack, but if this is like an Ice Beam, I'm just cooked. Okay, well I got that at least. Lovely. I don't think this is winnable, unfortunately. I will go for Sludge Bomb into Porygon for some damage, and then Psychic should be able to KO Iron Leaves. I don't have Protect on Gengar, he knows that now, so we can just go straight for 2 attacks into it, and I like can't stop it at all. Psyblade, critical hit, doesn't matter. Man, I did not... This was just bad. Great, poison. If for some reason he attacked my Frigoroth, then this becomes winnable. I'll at least get one here, I think. One knockout. But if this is Ice Beam into Gengar, I do just lose, sadly. Yeah, he just got me on that first turn. That was a really good play, just to make sure you're covering both options there. I definitely over-indexed for the Trick Room mode. Let's say I did get that second turn right, where I... not second turn, the like Sludge Bomb into Iron Leaves instead of Sucker Punch. He went for Trick Room that turn, so either I knock out the Iron Leaves or he sets up Trick Room, but then Ursulin just comes in and I'm kind of back to square one there. I can't win. I'm just going to imprison for fun. I cannot emphasize how much I cannot win this game. I don't even think I can take a knockout just for points at this point. Look at the tri-attack just for funsies with the Chilin Berry. I guess maybe I should have like gone for Psychic into Porygon. I could maybe have gotten a knockout for like tiebreaker purposes. So I guess I trolled a little bit there, but at this point I think one knockout here is probably not going to be a huge deal. And even if I got it, again, I am going to lose. He would have just switched out anyway if I had gone for Psychic, so didn't matter at all. I just lost really hard. So, you got me, Shmon. Good job. Psychic into Scrafty just for insult to injury, and then here's the Facade to lock it up. So I'm going to lose pretty handily to Shmon here in week number 5. Bit unfortunate, but that is just down to me like not preparing as well as I should have, I think. This is maybe like the worst I had felt going into a match. Not worst, but least prepared. I was busier over the last few days. I'm playing on Thursday before I leave for the weekend and didn't have as much time, but no excuses. That's just on me for not making the time I needed to give myself the best shot here. So we're dropping to 3-2 after 5 weeks. Still not a bad place to be. If I win, I believe week 6 is my off week. Don't quote me on that. So I might not have a video for you next week because all of us will have one bye week for this season. But if I win my next match, there's just one left in the regular season. I'll be at 4-2. I think 4-2 should be pretty safe for playoffs. So fingers crossed we're able to get that last win. Maybe even a 3-3 could squeak in if I on tiebreakers or something. So maybe I should have played smartly to try and get a knockout of Porygon. I don't think it would have mattered. It's fine. We got one more week of regular season. A win should get us into the playoffs. So we're going to try and get that win and leave Destiny in our own hands. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all for the next battle.